I've been talking to a girl for 4 months. She talks so quiet, like whispers. How to get her to talk louder?
You got to get her to ask her the kind of questions she would enjoy answering. But you got to understand there's some girls that are just very quiet like that. And unless they're talking about a subject they're really into or they feel really comfortable, that just might be the way she is. She may be just really soft-spoken, kind of like Anna is. Anna's very soft-spoken and quiet, right? At least around us. Is she a lunatic at home?
Mm. She's like that most of the time.
She's always kind of quiet?
Yeah.
So some girls are like that. Caroline's like that. She's like a mouse. Like we were talking about a couple weeks ago when we were filming. On camera, can be pretty talkative, but usually when she comes to work, she likes to put the headphones on, and she's more of an introvert. She's more of a listener.
Until I start talking her ear off. I'm like, hey.
Well, it's like I'm like that. All my closest friends are very extroverted, always talking, and pretty much every close girlfriend I ever had has been like that as well. Because I'm more of a listener. I like to listen.
Yeah, Jack's pretty quiet. I mean, he talks, but...
Yeah, because you never shut up. So.
I know. He talks a little bit when there's stuff going on, but for the most part, I'm always talking, asking questions or something like that. And then out of the blue, he'll be like, you know what? I'm like, what? And then that'll be it. He'll be done with it'll be like a 5-minute conversation.
And that's it?
And that's it.
Then he taps out?
He definitely only says probably like, when we're talking, it's probably like 1,000, maybe 1,500
words a day.
Yeah, well, to me, like when he gets home from work, that's the like limited amount.
And you're like 150,000 words.
Like his social battery is like drained.
Yeah. Like we talk on like the weekends and stuff, but usually when he gets home from work, we'll watch a show, whatever.
Yeah, this guy, it's, if she's talking about something she's really passionate about and really into or really loves, she may become a little more extroverted and animated, but some people are just like that, They're just naturally quiet. But the flip side is the quietest people typically have the most to say.
Mm-hmm.
So when he gets her talking about something she's really into, she probably won't shut up.
Like
but other than
really
that, she'll go back to being quiet. So, what is he like? Is he more extroverted? Does he talk all the time? And if that's the case, then, she may be a better match for him because of that.
Yeah.
Like my buddies of mine that are very outgoing, very extroverted, that are married and been together a long time, they tend to talk a lot, and their wives are more of the listener, more of the quiet, reserved type.
Yeah, like... Sometimes I'll when I'm quiet, Jack's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Nothing." He's like, "You just kind of look kind of sad, staring off." I was like, then he's like, "Oh, you're not talking." But like if I get like excited about something, I start like talking louder and faster. And he's like, "Hold on." It's like like Corey said, when you're excited about something and you like things, then you're like, "Oh yeah," and then you're gonna talk.
You start to show your excitement.
Yeah, like puppies.
I had a girl I dated. Now that I remember, I met.
Oh,
jeez,
She's
cranky.
taking a nap. She's taking a nap.
And I met her at a wedding, and we hung out for a little bit. I didn't really get a chance to know her real well. And one of my female friends, the one who was getting married, she's like, "Oh, so and so really likes you." I was like, I just talked to her for 5 minutes, and she had been dating another guy I knew that was at the wedding, but they weren't together anymore. I was like, "Well, give her my number," and she gave her my number and called me. And I invited her up to Orlando I think it was in Orlando. Yeah, I was in Orlando at the time. She came up and stayed with me for the weekend. And actually, I take that back. I was living in Boca at the time. She came and stayed with me for the weekend. And, man, going out to dinner and when I'm like an introverted person and just asking her questions, trying to get her to talk is like, she wouldn't say anything. And I mentioned something to her about it, and she's like, "Oh, you're putting so much pressure on me." I was like, "Well, I'm just trying to get to know you, and you're not really saying anything."
that'd be boring.
And then, it was boring to be with her. And then later that night, I was just like, well, I'll probably send her on her way tomorrow back. She can drive back home. I'm not into it. I'm not feeling it. Then I remember I was out in the living room and she's like, hey, are you coming to bed? And she was ready to get it on. I was like, what?
Did you?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't lay the pipe that night.
Ew.
She did not qualify.
That's just weird. Like,
I didn't want
you're
to hook.
pressuring me.
We barely spoke hardly. I didn't have a good time with her. And then when
Yeah.
she went back up, she got in touch with my friend, and I was like, yeah, she just really didn't have much to say about anything. But she was down to hook up, and I wasn't.
Oh, imagine she's like, if you did hook up with her, she's like, oh, that feels great. Real nice. Keep going.
Keep going and
Oh.
going and going.
Oh,
Oh,
I just
oh,
came.
Corey. Oh, oh, don't stop.
It's really funny.
Oh yeah. Uh huh.
That's so weird. Like, I couldn't, no. Like, have you ever, like, been with someone, like, intimately, and they just, they don't make any noise the whole time, and they're just like,
Like after they take a sip of soda.
Every girl is fucking different. They have different noises, different verbalizations. They say different things. Some are very squeaky and noisy. Every thrust is like.
oh, God.
Everyone is unique. That's what I found.
Oh, my goodness.